Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our channel, Two Brothers Outdoors, and welcome to our homestead. Tim's in town this morning getting new sneakers put on his truck, so I thought we'd take a hike up and let us show you some of the improvements we made on our property and just basically give you a tour of the homestead. So come on, let's go. Let's take a walk. Hopefully my knee will hold up. Since I've had COVID, I've had problems with my knees, but they're feeling pretty good this morning. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so behind the house, my house, me and my wife's house, we dug a pond this spring. It's not quite finished yet, but it's about 10 feet deep in the water, where the water stands. We've had a drought this year, and boy, things really look bad. The pond was full. Oh boy, we got deer tracks all over the place here. Deer love it back here. All right, anyway, the pond was full right up to here. Almost going over the roadway back there in the back, but since we've had such a dry summer, it's down. Hopefully we'll get caught up on rain here and that'll fill back up. All right, let's head down to the little stream and up to the back. Okay, so we're a couple hundred yards behind the house now. Dropping down to the lowest point on the property at this point. Coming up on what we call the little stream. Funny thing is, this little stream has got trout in it. You find a deep pool, you'll find trout. So while I had the backhoe here this year, we came down to the little stream, dug a couple holes. These holes are about 8 feet deep. Stream runs right into them. Already got trout gathering in them. It's pretty cool. It's all ledge rock, all ledges, all rock right here. It's a big rock right there. Yeah, this little stream, believe it or not, it's low because we've been real dry. We're suffering from a drought. But this little stream does hold trout. Okay, so next stop will be up on the first tier, and that will be the first food plot. Oh, I see fresh tracks. Tim must be up checking cameras. Okay guys, so this is our first food plot. It's up on the second tier past the creek. And if we walk this way, up the trail a little ways, alright, so we just came up another tier. Thankfully, this hill or small mountain, whatever you want to call it, is in tiers. So you can actually walk east to west level. Okay, so there's the first food plot I just showed you from down below. And this is box blind number 1. This one was just built, so we got it open right now to dry the wood out a little bit. As you can see, got a countertop right there, a little place for a stove and a coffee pot, and 4 windows. Not quite finished with this one yet, but we will in next week. Behind the box blind, up in here, there's a small hinge cut. We open that up and there's a spring in there, and we dug a nice hole probably about 5 feet across and a couple feet deep, and it serves as a watering hole. When we get into a dry period like we are now, it keeps the deer from having to walk all the way down to the creek to get a drink. They can actually get a drink right there. All right, so we're going to head on over to blind and food plot number 2. About 500 yards now from the last food plot and continually going uphill. Coming up on food plot number 2. Oh, Tim's up here. What you doing?
Looking at the camera.
Anything good?
A couple of does, baby.
Any bear?
Raccoons, 2 coyotes, a fox, a bunch of turkeys.
Okay, so this is food plot number 2. This food plot looks a little overgrown, it is, but it is full of clover. And these deer love the clover.
Chicory.
And chicory.
Radish.
Radishes. You can see we got tons of acorns. We got oak trees all through here, and we haven't cut a single oak tree out. Okay, so let's walk up and I'll show you what blind number 2 is. As we proceed up the hill a little bit, we'll turn off the trail. And that is blind number 2. We'll climb up in it in just a minute. Show you what the view is. Okay, so this one's done for the most part. Mama are out there in the tree. Paper towels, I guess, in case he has to wipe his butt. Fan. But anyway, there's the food plot right there. So it's about 40 yards maybe from the stand, and we're above it. He was checking his cameras and looking the food plot over a little bit. Okay, so south of this stand, you'll see that little trough right there. Well, about 200 yards, 300 yards that way is the beginning of a very big swamp that's on our property. So this one particular food plot and the food plot at the other number 1 stand have a tendency to draw bear up into them once in a while too. All right, so let's head up the trail and look at the next feature on our property. That right there is a beech tree. And we got a broken branch off the beech tree. And it's got beech nuts. It's loaded with beech nuts. So it looks like we might have a crop of beech nuts this year. That'll bring in the bear and the deer as well. So on we go. Unfortunately, this little hike is going to be uphill all the way. So if I start breathing hard or sound like an old steam engine, you'll understand why. Okay, so we've come up the hill quite a ways. Not breathing too bad yet. And this is our hinge cut. This is where I got in the argument with the bees, right up there. We're not done yet either, by the way, if they're still there. Okay, so what we did is we created a hinge cut. Starts down that way about 200 yards. And it runs this whole side hill all the way down there. Probably about 350 maybe, 350 yards. Those tall trees you see standing there, they're all oak trees. We didn't even know we had them in there until we started making the hinge cut, and we decided to leave them. And by opening up the canopy around these oak trees, they are massively dropping acorns. The deer love this area right here with the little second growth and the acorns and the ferns. They eat ferns in the wintertime or fall. All right. We're going to continue up the hill, go to stand number 3. Okay, so as we're proceeding uphill, heading for stand number 3, hinge cut's down there. So we're above the hinge cut and walking parallel with it right now. Okay, so we've reached a crossroad. This is the top of our property, and we're at the top of the mountain. As you can see, it starts to go down that way now. The top is like up there a ways yet, but we're going to head down now a little bit off the summit to get to stand number Okay, so we've reached stand number 3. This right here, state land for about 4 miles. Big parcel of real estate. And there's all kinds of hills, ravines, and valleys back there. Quite the place to grow some big bucks. And sometimes it grows some really big bucks. Okay, so that's stand number 3. And you've seen videos of the inside of that last year. That's what we call Big Pine. Back years ago, if I told Tim, go on up to Big Pine, I'm going to come around the state land and I'll meet you there. That's where you go. Big Pine. Alrighty, and as we proceed down the trail, this is food plot number 3. Some kind of deer mixture that we bought. It's got clover and stuff in it, and radishes, and I don't know what the grass is, but it does bring in the deer. And of course the grass brings in the turkeys because the grasshoppers. And there's stand number 3. You're doing really nice. Nice little green patch in the middle of all the brown woods. And a couple 100 yards down the trail from food plot number 3, we get to stand number 4. Still facing state woods this way, our woods this way, and all the way around it. And you got pictures of that inside too from our past videos. And we planted a little small food plot here. It's about 40 yards long or so. It's doing pretty good down there where the sun gets. Up here, not so good. But that's all right. Something to give the deer, a little something to munch on as winter goes away. As winter comes on, I'm sorry. All right. Now we're going to start down and I'll show you the swamp. And here's a cool little fact. See the rocks right there and the depression in the ground? Well, this was called the military road at one time. And all the roads way back in the 1700s, they put rocks. They lined rocks on the roads, on the sides of them. Probably to get the rocks out of the roads. So you can see the old remnants of the rock wall right there. And we are actually on the old military road, as they called it, where revolutionaries and the British traveled, and the French, back in the 1700s. A lot of history. This old log right here that we just come across, that's where a bear has been grubbing. They'll tear the logs apart and dig the grubs out of the logs and, I guess, termites. So you'll see where they've been, but you can't never see them. Catch them on camera once in a while. As you can see, we still got acorns all over the place. We got oak trees all over this property. That's a pretty cool fact. A heck of a walk. Okay, so we're starting back down this big ravine right here. This is the east side of our property. We walked kind of up on the west side. And that ravine runs into the big swamp, which I will show you here in just a few minutes. All right, guys, so there's that ravine I was showing you a few minutes ago. It runs down, and that's all swamp down in there. And that swamp actually runs back to the stream that we crossed earlier. The stream runs through that swamp. All right, guys. Let's get on out of here. Okay. Now we're coming out of the east trail. That's the west trail. That's the one we went up. We're almost back to the little stream. Okay, guys. That's our homestead. Some of the improvements we've made this year. Thanks for joining us. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. Hit the thumbs up. Hit us if you want. Hit that subscribe. All right, guys. Till the next time, we'll catch you later. We film and we edit our own videos, and anybody that does this knows just how difficult it can be. Following the pictures of our homes is about the fourth take on the introduction this morning, the greeting. Watch and laugh with us. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to our channel, Two Brothers Outdoors, and welcome to our homestead. Tim's up in town this morning. He's getting new sneakers put on his truck. He'll join us later, but right now he said I thought I would take us up, take a little walk, show you some of the improvements we made, and just basically show you our